Hello, my spooky friends.
My name is Cassie.
And I'm Caitlin.
And welcome in to I'd Survive.
Gotta smile through it. It helps, right?
I feel like even a smile doesn't make me sound less bored. Maybe I just have like a boring, like not a bored voice. I think I have a bored drawl to my voice sometimes that I need to work on.
I feel like maybe when you're reading a script, which
Yeah.
I feel the same way. I have a hard time like getting up for the script.
Yeah. When you're just reading off a page, it can be hard.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, we're back. We're so back.
We're so back.
I have a lot to talk about as far as it's mostly about stuff that I'm excited about coming up in my horror life. But do you have anything that you watched?
I have been continuing to just like watch things on Shudder. I watched a lot of honestly, a lot of these movies I like fall asleep and I never watch the ending of. I don't because there are a lot of movies like that out there.
Yeah.
But I was watching like a found footage movie called Deadstream. I don't know if you've heard of that one. It's about like an influencer who like goes into a haunted house kind of vibes.
No, I love the premise though.
Right? I need to go back and finish that one because I haven't yet.
Yeah.
And I watched another movie actually called Influencer that is on Shudder. You might have seen it on there.
That one I think I've heard of.
Yeah. And it was it's like a love-hate relationship that I have with that movie. I'm like, I can't decide if I love it or I hate it. I just don't know. But yeah, I've just kind of been watching a bunch of random stuff at this point.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch too much this week. Oh my God, I can say it right now. I've been a busy girl, but tomorrow...
I've been a busy girl.
Tomorrow, I am putting my 2 weeks in at my corporate job, and I'm allowed to say that because I'll be pretty much done by the time this one gets released. I'll be gone. I'll be out of there.
Yeah. Peace out.
So I'm going to have so much more time to watch movies and like read a book and cook a meal and go to sleep and stuff.
Yeah.
Love I'm excited. I'm going to be able to like just spend more time for sure. I'm going to watch so many horror movies. I'm so excited. I'm also excited because I brought this up to you yesterday, but I am pumped that Little Nightmares 3, the game Little Nightmares 3, has a release date. Please don't take it away from me. Apparently it's October 9th. Well, Steam says 9th. Their wiki page says 10th. I don't know if it's like a midnight situation.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm so excited to play that game. I kind of want to replay the first two again.
Right? Because those games are so good that it's like I will happily play those again. Just the atmosphere of Little Nightmares, just nothing beats it. And I will like the controls are maybe a little janky. Maybe they'll fix that with the third one. Hopefully. But just the whole art style and everything of those games is so good.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that. And then this week, tomorrow, I am starting Resident Evil 7 on Twitch.
Oh my God.
And it's my first Resident Evil game. I'm so excited about this. So scared that you're so excited because I'm like, what the fuck am I getting into right now?
You have no idea. Like I'm upset because like I'm not gonna be able to be there for the full like streams, so I'm gonna have to watch VOD. But I'm just like, oh my gosh, that's one of my favorite games ever that I've never played. Yeah. I think it's just so interesting. So it should be good. Oh my
God! And apparently, the 9th one, Resident Evil 9 is like coming out early next year, I think.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to play that one. It'll be my first Resi game, I think, unless I go back and play the other ones. But
have you watched like all of the Resident Evil games?
There is one that I haven't, and I don't know which one it is. If it's 3 or 4, I would have to go back and look. But I've watched most of them. I've actually never seen anyone play the first one, but the first one I think is pretty old at this point, and I think it's very, very, very different. But I'd be down to play that if I could find a place to play it, but we'll see.
Okay. And then outside of like video games, I'm just sitting here and there's a list of movies, horror movies that I want to watch. I'm very curious about that I Know What You Did Last Summer remake.
Oh, yes.
That's in theaters right now. I might try to make it in theaters. That could be fun. I still haven't watched the new Final Destination, which I'm caught up with all the other ones. I watched those kind of as they came out.
Okay.
Bring Her Back, like the Talk to Me people did bring her back. I'm curious about that. Megan too. You've not seen Megan.
I have not. I've seen the commercials and I just don't know if
Girl.
it's for me. I just don't know if I could do it.
I don't think it is. That being said, I beg for a reaction for that as well.
Really? I mean, a lot of people do. Yeah. A lot of people do. I'm actually planning on, and I can't guarantee this, but I'm planning on filming Bring Her Back tomorrow because like that's such a big one. So
oh my God, yeah, let me know how that is. Yeah, because I'm curious about that. It's weird because I keep seeing it floating at the top, but I'm also not hearing any hype or like seeing anything about it.
Right.
So
I'm guessing it has to do with the fact that it's like not on streaming at the moment. Like in order to watch it, you got to pay $20. So once things hit streaming, I think people start talking about them these days, just the way that things are now. But
I need to catch up on all the 28 Days Later movies because of that new one that came out, the Years one.
Yep.
I still need to watch Sinners. Like I am behind, but
oh, you haven't watched Sinners yet?
No. I was considering it for a reaction, but then I ended up watching I don't know if you know that Buffy the Vampire Slayer has a movie. It came out like years before the show. It was written by like the creator of the show, and it was just like a horror comedy with like Luke Perry and Christy Swanson was it. David freaking Arquette is in it. Yeah.
What? Yeah. Sorry. You can't say that name around me and not expect me to free out.
Pee Wee Herman is in it.
Wait.
Who else? President Snow is in it. It's a wild cast. And it came out in 92.
I'm so, like, I had no idea it was a movie before it was a show.
Most people don't unless you're, like, really a fan of the show. Because the movie did not do well, and it probably would not be talked about at all if it wasn't for the show. Like, people who are watching the movie are fans of the show, I fear. So
that's so crazy. I had no idea.
Yeah, so I watched that. I'm doing that as my reaction this week.
Oh, that'll be fun. Oh my God, people are gonna love that. Obviously,
yeah. You're the Buffy gal. It was so fun. It was so fun. So yeah, that I guess that actually counts. I'll say that counts as like a horror movie I watched this week. It is labeled horror, but I completely just did not view it that way. It's not scary. It's not horror to me at all. So our movie today.
Why are you laughing already? Our movie today, giggle.
I just don't know what to expect. This is like the most different type of movie that we've covered so far. And it's one of those where I genuinely don't know if we're going to regret, if we're going to love this episode and like regret having done this.
That concerns me considering we did Presents, and I consider that to be our most different episode, and now you're saying this is our most different?
You know what? With Presents, I think a lot of people, that's like one of our lower listened to episodes.
It is.
But it's one of my favorites.
Really?
Like, I cried. I love a cry. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be one that like we love, but like the people don't really respond to, or if it's going to surprise us. The people. Or if it's going to surprise us and like we're going to be like, I don't know about that, because it's just so different from the typical movie we cover. And people are really going to love it. I have no idea what to expect out of this one. So
I'm excited.
Okay. So Google considers the platform to be a sci-fi horror, but its wiki page calls it a dystopian thriller. So it's one of those movies that isn't so easy to fit into a single easy peasy genre.
Fair.
It's a Spanish film that premiered at the 2019 Toronto International Film Festival, where it won the People's Choice Award for Midnight Madness.
Oh, of course.
And it was at the Toronto Film Festival that it secured a worldwide streaming deal with Netflix. So 5 months after the festival, it premiered on Netflix in March 2020, the cursed month.
Oh my God.
And in July 2020, Netflix revealed that the film had been watched by 56 million households over its first 4 weeks of release, making it one of their most successful original films in terms of streaming numbers, at least at the time.
In my mind, I'm like, okay, is the movie that good or was it COVID? You know what I mean?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, that's possible, especially with like the themes that the movie gets into. It might have been a perfect storm as far as timing for the movie.
Yeah.
So I watched this movie around 2022 from like, I read its synopsis. I just came across it on Netflix, read the synopsis, and I was like, oh, I need to watch this. It's one of those movies that really stuck with me due to its extremely unique concept.
Ooh.
So, with that being said, let's get into it.
Oh boy.
I don't know about this one.
Oh boy.
Okay. We open up with an older man, probably in his 60s or so, in a nice suit, and he is walking around a huge staff kitchen. This is not a normal restaurant kitchen. These kitchens feel endless, like hundreds of chefs are busy at work making things from pork to eggs to soup to cakes. And stationed in the kitchen as well is a violinist playing music for everyone, which we hear over the montage of this man walking through and inspecting everything. And he seems to be the overseer of this operation, making sure everything is up to par. And then a strong male voice echoes over the montage saying, there are 3 kinds of people, those at the top, those at the bottom, and those who fall. Oh. And then, yeah, we're in it. We're in
it.
Cute. We cut to a new man about in his 30s waking up, and he's kind of groggy, and it takes him a second to look around and take in his surroundings, but when he does, it's a little strange. We are in a pretty small concrete room. I'm bad at estimating like size, but my guess would be maybe 9 by 9. It's a pretty standard small concrete room, and there are fluorescent lights lined across the top of the walls, and he's laying on a wooden bench bed situation.
That does not sound fun.
It's not pretty. I would barely call this a cot. There is a blanket and a pillow though, so that's nice.
Oh, okay, perfect then.
We're fine. We survive. And directly across from him on the other side of the room is another cot with an older man sitting on it. This guy's probably in his 70s. And he's wearing a tan jumpsuit. So is the young guy that we've just watched wake up. So the immediate thought is like, oh, okay, we must be in a jail cell of some sort.
Right, for sure.
So the younger guy sits up. His name is Goreng. Oh my God. Apologies in advance. These are all very, very Spanish names.
Okay.
His name is Goreng, and he's our main character. When he sits up, his cellmate across from him says, level 48. And Goreng responds, the pit? And his cellmate agrees, yes, the pit. And the month's just started. So the question is, what are we going to eat? So Goreng asks.
Yeah, no, I totally know where we're going with this. Like, I get it. This makes sense to me.
You're right there with them. You know exactly what's going on.
Yeah. I've been there, done that.
Yeah, he goes, what are we going to eat? And then, Goreng asked him, like, what are we going to eat? So then his cellmate answers, whatever the people above us leave behind, obviously.
Oh.
And Goreng glances up and is like, the people above us? And his cellmate clarifies, the people on level 47, obviously. So Goreng stands up.
What the? You know what I'm picturing in my mind? Like, okay, I hope this is not where it's going, but like I'm picturing like people eating and then they're just like scooting their scraps off the side, and the people below them eat that, and then you get rid of your scraps and you scoot them below. Please don't.
Okay.
Like, please don't. Please don't.
Because I forgot. What the fuck? We literally talked in in Wrong Turn. I'm editing our Wrong Turn episode right now, and you do mention in it, you're like, I cannot with food residue, like leftover food, like scraps is disgusting. I didn't really think about that.
Cassie, are you kidding me right now? Am I a joke to you?
Oh, also, I should mention dog trigger warning.
All right. Are you? What's wrong with you? Why would you do this to me?
Oh my God.
It is Monday morning, girly.
Okay, so Goreng stands up and the camera pans to reveal a big square hole in the floor. Right in the middle of their cell.
Cool.
A whole chunk of the floor is just missing. And then Goreng steps forward to look down the hole. And we see an endless amount of cells below them, also with the same hole in the middle of their floors. Of course, also when you look up, he can see cells with that hole in their floor above them too. And he can see some people pacing around in their designated cells from like certain angles. And then Goreng walks over to his cellmate, still sitting in his bed, and stretches his hand out for a handshake, introducing himself as Goreng. So he's like, okay, yeah, that's chill. Like the hole on the floor, like all the people worrying about what we were supposed to eat, like that's all chill. Anyways, my name is Goreng. And
wait, so Goreng's new Like, he just showed up here, it seems?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
So yeah, this is their first time meeting, but this guy isn't interested in shaking his hand. He seems tired, and he just asks, please stay on your side of the room, Goring. Which, like, okay, valid. Like, I'd want my space too. What little I could have, I can't lie. Goring is feeling a little awkward about the rejected handshake, but no big deal. He heads back over to his side of the room, and that is when his cellmate decides to introduce himself, and his name is Trumagasi. So he tells Goring that he's giving him his name because it's probably best that they do get to know each other a little bit, given how much time they'll be spending together.
Yeah.
But then he pauses and is like, or not. As in, they also may not spend a lot of time together, so that's ominous.
Yeah, that's weird. What do you mean? Like, where are we going?
Don't be making that comment to me. Goring asks Trumagasi if he knows how the pit works, to which Trumagasi replies, it's obvious. You eat. Sometimes it's easy. Other times it's difficult. It depends on where you're assigned. Fortunately, 48 is a good level. Which I'm sitting here like, exactly. I'm sitting here like, shit, what do you mean this is a good level? I know there's no way by the time food gets down to us, it's going to be appetizing.
Yeah.
So Goring asks Trumagasi if there are a lot of people below them still, but then is like, no, don't answer that. It's obvious. Like, he's like, well, based on you saying that this is a good level, sure, I'm guessing this goes pretty deep.
Yeah, right?
And Trumagasi, the ultimate optimist, says there will be fewer of them soon.
Fewer?
Of the people below us. He's really happy about that. He's like, don't worry, there will be fewer of them soon. Which, like,
because they're gonna die?
What? Why are you happy? Like, you're definitely insinuating people are gonna die, and you're like, don't worry about it, it's fine.
I don't understand what's happening.
Goring whistles down at the cells below them and calls out, hey, can you hear me? Listen up. But Trumagasi cuts him off right away and says, don't speak to them. They're below us. So Goring is like, all right. And he's about to call up to the people in the cells above them, but Trumagasi stops him before he can do that and is like, no, don't even try. They won't talk to you. Goring asks why. And Trumagasi says, because they're above us, obviously. Goring's like, all right, well, if this all seems so obvious to you, you must have been in here a long time. And Trumagasi agrees. He goes, yes, months, many, many months. As I said, level 48 is a good level. You're very lucky.
Okay, I don't know what is, like, where we're going. Like, we're okay. Yeah. Just shut up. Yeah. Just let it happen.
No, exactly. Like, I feel like the beginning of the movie, you're very much sitting there like, what? Like,
what? And where are we going?
They really throw you into it, and there is like a lot. It doesn't come off as like too much talk and not enough show, but there is a lot of talk in the first, I'd say, 20 minutes.
Fair.
Goring asks how long they're going to be on this level. So, side note, with all the questions Goring has, it seems like, yes, you put it together. This is his first time in the cells, but he knew of like the basic concept that he was about to be involved in. So it's like you kind of knew what you were getting into. You're not shocked or confused waking up here, but like you're also like, okay, what about this? What about, like, asking questions? Yeah. Trumagasi tells Goring that they'll be in the level 48 cell for exactly 1 month. And then he's like, okay, I'm done answering your questions. How about when you start giving me some information worth my while, I can do the same for you. That way it's fair. And then he grabs his pillow and walks to the edge of the hole in the middle of the room, sets it down before bending down and placing his knees on it. And then it seems like he's waiting. Behind Goring, we see a light different from the regular fluorescent lights lighting up the rest of the room that switches from red to green. And that is when a giant floating slab of square concrete comes floating down onto their level, like perfectly fitting so that it's the exact size of the hole, and then secures itself to a stop on their floor. And this giant slab of concrete is full of what used to be a huge buffet of different types of food. But at this point, it's mostly leftovers and scraps. Because it started on level 1, people in 47 levels above them have already gotten their pick of what they wanted to eat. Trumagasi does not care. He digs in, he's grabbing whatever he can find, handfuls of stray rice and cleaning off like chicken on a wing bones that weren't eaten completely.
Ugh.
Yeah. Whatever he can find, he's shoving it in his mouth. Meanwhile, Goring is standing there looking at everything with disgust and is just like, this food's already been eaten. We're supposed to eat food that's left over from the 94 people above us. That's disgusting.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Trimagasi is like, no biggie. As the month goes on, there will be less and less people above us too. And then he's like, aren't you going to eat? But Goring shakes his head and says he's not hungry. And when he looks up into the cell above them, there's this guy lurking around, staring down back at him. So Goring like quickly averts his gaze and is like, oh, I feel like I shouldn't make eye contact with them up there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Are you having a good time?
So weird. I don't understand.
I have no idea if you're going to like this movie. It's a little weird, not in the same sense, but in the same vibe as Severance, in the way of like, what's going on here? This is so like weird, you know? Yeah.
I mean, I like the vibe so far. I love a movie where you get thrown in like this and you're just like, what the hell is happening?
Okay, perfect.
No, I love it. I just am like so confused because I'm trying to imagine 94 people picking at food. And first of all, there being any left to begin with surprises me. And if they're in a good position, how many people are below them? And how?
I know.
What?
I will say the amount of food left is believable. It's a huge slab. It's like a huge buffet. Okay. But like I said, he's like scooping rice and like eating the rest of chicken on a bone that's already been eaten. So it's like already dwindling pretty bad.
Right.
Trimagasi warns Goring that he might not be hungry now, but he will be, and he'd better eat something. So Goring inspects the table and manages to find an untouched apple. So he grabs it and says, I'll save it for later. And he pockets it. Their green light turns back to red with a deep like buzz heavy sound effect, and the platform of food starts to lower down to level 49 below them. And once it's gone, Trimagasi goes and lies on his bed, but Goring is suddenly like growing very uncomfortable, and he's like, is it getting hot in here? And Trimagasi agrees, completely unbothered though, and he looks like he's ready for a nap, but he's like, yep, it's gonna keep getting hotter, we'll be burnt to a crisp in no time.
Oh, okay, cool.
Goring's freaking out. Like, hello, why? What's happening? And Trimagasi continues, it's your fault. The temperature will keep rising until you get rid of that apple. The food is only ours while the platform is on our level. If you keep any food for longer, we'll burn or freeze. It really just depends.
Oh.
So obviously, Goring takes that apple from his pocket and throws it down on the platform below, and quickly the temperature starts to return to normal again in their cell. He's like, whew, okay. Which makes sense. Like, you can't just hoard the food. It's not allowed.
Yeah, I guess that. Yeah, sure. Yeah. In this universe, I suppose that does make sense.
It makes perfect sense, Kaylin.
Yeah.
Then we cut to a flashback. Goring is sitting at a desk across from someone that we can't see, and this person is asking him if he understands that, quote, you won't be able to leave until the agreed time has elapsed. And Goring's response to that is excitement. He asks, so I've been accepted? And the person denies this, like, no, not yet. Goring sighs, and then he asks, can my item be a book? And the person responds, your item can be anything you want. And then we cut back to present Goring in his cell holding the book Don Quixote. Again, he looks up into the cell above them to see the guy up there, maybe early 50s, just sitting at the edge of their platform, like just openly staring at him. But he's like, okay, whatever. He wants to do a story time. And he basically says as much, saying to Trimagasi, I want to tell you why I'm here, so you'll tell me why you're here. And without getting any confirmation that Trimagasi is actually going to open up in return, he goes on to say, I wanted to quit smoking and read Don Quixote. And Trimagasi's like, what? Like, you came here voluntarily? Goring's like, yes, 6 months in exchange for an accredited degree. And Trimagasi sits up in his bed and goes, an accredited degree? What do you mean an accredited degree? I should get 2 in that case. I'm doing a year. And of course, he doesn't explain why, just lays back down. That night, when it's time to go to bed, the fluorescent lights go out, and we're just in the glow of the red light. And at one point, the platform comes flying back up, passing level 48 in a blink of an eye. I swear it's going at least 100 miles per hour. You want to be standing back when it's coming back to the surface.
Yeah, I know. That sounds scary.
Yeah. The next day, it's platform eating time, and Trimagasi is chowing down while again Goring is refusing to eat. And Trimagasi's like, ugh, you don't deserve to be on this level. And Goring couldn't care less about that opinion. He says, you never told me why you're in here. Come on. And I haven't included it, but this whole time, the word obviously, Trimagasi keeps overusing it, and Goring has started throwing it back at him and using it as well while they're talking. So it's like a little joke between them.
Mm-hmm.
So Trimagasi is like, all right, I'll tell you if you stop stealing my word, obviously. So Goring agrees, and Trimagasi tells him his story. And he goes, I was watching TV at home, and I saw this commercial. A bearded guy with a knife sharpener. It said, the Samurai Max sharpens any blade, straight or serrated. Take a look at this knife. It's so dull, so it couldn't even cut a sponge. But with the Samurai Max, it can cut through even the toughest of surfaces, even this brick. And lo and behold, it cut through it. Then these housewives come on, saying that their Samurai Max had changed their lives. And to be honest, I'd never even peeled a tomato, and I bought sliced bread, and I don't know why anyone would even want to slice a brick with a knife, but I started to think, why don't I sharpen my knives? So
yeah, the brick thing is throwing me a little bit. What do you mean you're cutting through bricks?
Why are you doing that? So we can see where this is going. He becomes convinced that his life will just be so much better if he has this knife sharpener, so he buys it.
For sure.
But then his story, me on TikTok shop, it's bad. But then his story continues. After I bought it, I watched the next commercial. It was the same bearded guy with the same housewives, and they were advertising a knife that doesn't even need a knife sharpener, a knife that stays sharp, even if you cut a brick with it, and the knife sharpens itself as it cuts. And he asks Goring, guess what this knife was called? And Goring is kind of laughing a little at this point in the story, and he just throws out a guess. He's like, Samurai Plus. And super serious, Trimagasi's like, you bought it too? Goring's like, oh, no, oh boy. you don't see that I can see exactly where this is going, and you've been scammed. Trimagasi doesn't clock the pattern of capitalism that this company is achieving. But he continues, and he's like, well, obviously they were mocking me, and because of the little things, I couldn't take it anymore. I took my television set and I threw it out the window. And it fell on this quote, goddamn illegal immigrant who was riding his bicycle. So tell me, was that guy's death my fault? And like, well, yes.
Yeah, that was.
Yes. What do you mean?
Your TV out the window, and like, you probably shouldn't have done that.
Right. But he fully sends his belief here and goes, he shouldn't have been here in the first place.
Whoa.
So he believes that it's the immigrants' fault for not being documented, and a murder of any kind, accidental, manslaughter, whatsoever. Well, that's just their fault for being in a different country. Hello.
I don't know what to do with this, sir.
Yeah, I was like, I thought we were chill, but...
now you just sound insane.
Yeah. So Goring's like, wait, okay, let's back up a second. He goes, you killed a man, and then they brought you in here? And Trimagasi answers, well, it was either a psychiatric hospital or the pit, which is, what they call this place.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, maybe we should have taken a trip to the psych, but it's okay. That's whatever. We're here now, I guess.
This is probably just the same thing.
I'm sure this is really helping him, yeah. I think it's clocking to Goring that like, oh shit, there are probably a lot of dangerous people in this place, which I don't know what he thought he was getting himself into. Like, I'm sure he was aware that most people aren't here voluntarily. Yeah. Like he is, but like, okay. Goring asks Trimagasi how many levels there are, and he answers, I know that there are more than 132 because that's where I was last month, and that's the lowest I've been. Goring's like, what the fuck? Like, how much food are you even able to get when you're that low? Yeah. And Trimagasi says, none. So, of course, Goring goes, it's not possible to go 30 days without eating. And Trimagasi counters, I never said I didn't eat. And
what do you mean? What did you eat, bro?
And actually, yes, you can go more than 30 days without eating. The problem really is when you're assigned to 2 lower levels back to back. Goring's freaking out. He's like, this is unfair and dangerous, and we can't just let the lower levels starve. So he wants to start passing the message down that that everyone needs to ration their food so that people at the bottom don't starve to death.
I'm sure that's going to work.
Right. Trimagasi's like, no, hold on. He goes, are you a communist? But Goring's like, come on, it's food. Everyone should have their fair share of food. But Trimagasi's like, the people above us aren't going to listen to you. So Goring's like, fine, I'll start with the people below us. And he calls down to them, wanting to have a conversation, but is immediately met with hostility and yelling. They're mad, and they're demanding that we save them more wine next time and whatever else. So Trimagasi walks to the edge of the platform hole and literally pees onto their level. And Goring is like, what are you doing? They'll do the exact same to you if they're above you next month.
Right.
And Trimagasi shrugs and is like, yeah, they will.
Oh my God, what is this?
Yeah, Trimagasi is very much like, this is just the way of it. And Goring is like, we have to make things better, you know?
Yeah, he's new, so he probably, like, people maybe come in with that mindset, but then realize the reality of
and then,
things.
Right, it breaks you down.
Yeah.
So Goring is like, yeah, cool. Nothing I can do about this situation right now. So he walks over to his bed, takes a seat, and pulls out Don Quixote, and then says, I chose a book. What did you choose to bring? And Trimagasi is like, well, it's obvious, isn't it? And he pulls out a giant Samurai Plus kitchen knife. So,
why? What are you doing with that?
That bodes well. That's really great. I'm so happy to know that my cellmate has a kitchen knife that
that's great for us.
Kill me in a second. The next day, when the platform of food stops on their floor, Goring decides to partake and picks at the scraps for himself. Also the next day, at one point, Goring is just chilling and stretching and reading his book when a body splatters to its death from above on the edge of their level and then continues to fall down into the hole. And Goring's like, what the fuck? Was that a person? Hello?
Was that a person? Did somebody's body just come flying down the hole? Yeah.
Of course. Trimagasi's unbothered, obviously. And he's like, yeah, on those upper levels, you get to eat all you want, but you have nothing to look forward to and a lot to think about, implying that this guy must have jumped to his death.
Oh.
And again, Goring shouts around to everyone above and below, like, hey, we're not going to do anything about this. We're not going to try and prevent this. No one cares, including Trimagasi, who has already moved on and asks if he can read his book to him tonight because he's having some trouble sleeping. As always, Goring ignores him and just asks more questions, except this time, he gets a little bit more accusatory. Goring knows that every month, even though you switch levels, you stick with the same cellmate. He picked that up from a small comment that Trimagasi made to him at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So now he's like, bro, why are you with me now? What happened to your old cellmate? Well, you happen to have a giant kitchen knife, and last month is the month that you were on level 132, but you don't look like you went hungry. So you killed your cellmate, didn't you?
Oh my God.
Well, Trimagasi isn't going to answer that because the food platform has arrived for the day, and he goes on over and starts digging in, despite the fact that today there is a woman sitting in the middle of the platform. She's a prisoner like the rest of them because she's wearing the same jumpsuit. And she's just curled up with her legs pulled up to her chest and her head on her knees. And of course, Goring is concerned.
Yeah, what are you doing here, girlie?
Trimagasi is like, oh, don't worry about it. This is Miharu. She makes her way down every month. She's just looking for her son.
Oh.
And we're all concerned now. Because what?
Sure. Yeah. Whatever. She's just run around looking for her son. I'm fine. It's fine.
Goring is like, what? They allow minors in the pit? Hello? And Trimagasi shrugs. He's like, I don't know. I guess so. Goring reaches a hand out to try and comfort Miharu, but sometimes I say Miharu, sometimes I say Miharu. I don't know. Sometimes I might say it differently. I think it's Miharu. And Goring reaches a hand out to try and comfort Miharu, but she flinches away, and Goring explains that he just wants to help her. But Trimagasi is like, LOL, are you sure about that? Every month before making her way down the pit, she kills her cellmate. That way, there's a chance that she'll be with her son the next month. I wouldn't be surprised if that body that we saw was her cellmate and he was pushed.
Oh my God. Oh, and that's just fine. And they're just like, oh yeah, she's going to do that.
So Trimagasi continues, my cellmate completed his time in the pit, but after 8 days, a body fell just when the platform was on our level. So we ate that human flesh, but we didn't kill anyone.
Oh my God.
Yes, I'm a cannibal, but no, I'm not a murderer.
Oh, yeah, that makes me feel so much better. You know what? You're right. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, real talk, you're on a level you're in a cell and you have no food for a month.
Yep.
Do you think you could bring yourself to do that? I don't know if I can say I blamed them. I would blame them if they murdered someone.
Oh, absolutely. I think it's hard for me to judge because, like, obviously right now I'm going to be like, could never do that. I think most people are going to say that, like, could never do that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that.
Right. But then if you're put in that situation, it's like, I don't know.
Maybe.
It's possible that you get to that point. Like, the thought of that, it's like, I would rather die than eat another human being. But the level of, like, delusion that you have to get to at that point.
Right. Okay. And then the platform starts to lower and Miharu looks up at Goring with this certain look on her face, like maybe she does appreciate his kindness and like the fact that he's worried for her. Appreciation and curiosity. But as soon as the platform stops on level 49 below them, the two men in that cell grab her by her arms and legs and drag her off. And Goring shouts down at them to stop and starts to panic. But Trimagasi is like, don't worry about it. They'll just keep her for a couple days. And what I take from that is that they'll be raping her for a couple days.
Yeah.
So Goring also has a moral compass and is not okay with that. He's considering jumping down to help her. But before he does, everything going on down there suddenly goes quiet. And then they see Miharu. God damn it, Miharu. What the fuck? It confuses me every time.
Names are tough in this one.
And then, who knows? I just have to keep reading it as I guess I wrote it each time. Then they see Miharu crawl back over to the platform covered in blood and get on just in time to ride it down lower, having killed the two men who tried to attack her.
Oh my God. How the hell did she manage that?
Right. She don't fuck around with her. She clearly. She doesn't seem to need any help. So from here, we get a montage of several weeks with Goring and Trimagasi living on level 48, and they seem to really get into like a good, dare I say, fun routine. They're reading every night, they're doing some yoga together, cracking jokes. Maybe most notably, Goring is chowing down with the same ferocity as Trimagasi every day when that food platform stops on their floor.
Yeah, he's gotten used to it, I guess.
Yeah. And then one night when the lights are out and it's just the red glow, they're both in bed close to falling asleep when Trimagasi asks Goring to pray for them tonight. And Goring asks why, and Trimagasi responds, "Smell that? It's gas. They're knocking us out. Tomorrow we'll wake up on another level."
Oh boy.
"I'm fond of you, Goring. I don't think you'll survive long, but I'm fond of you. You've got a good heart, and I'll be getting out in 2 months." Like, he just pray for us to get a good level next month is what he's saying right now.
Right.
Goring asks Trimagasi if he believes in God, and he replies, "This month, I do." And we fade to black until we get a close-up of Goring's eyes opening up again, waking up from whatever sleeping gas they're put under when they're moved to different levels. But when we pan out a bit and get a closer look at Goring's face, we see that he's gagged with sheets that are used for the beds, and then we keep panning out and his whole body is bound to his bed.
What?
With with the sheets, like cut up sheets.
Oh.
Legs tied up, wrists tied up, entire body. He starts shouting and fighting against the constraints, and that is when Trimagasi kneels beside him with his knife and starts to caress his face, going,
"Oh, no.
You sleep very soundly, Goring. Now calm down. Look, this is not a good place." And we get to see the number on the level that they're on.
Good. It ain't
imprinted in the wall, and they are on level 171.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you knew it had to be worse just for the sake of what this movie's doing.
Oh,
but
yeah.
171? Uh-oh.
So Trimagasi is like, "Do you understand now? You're much younger and stronger than me. You might not attack me immediately, but over time, you'd start to look at me differently. Hunger unleashes the madman within us. It's better to eat than be eaten.
Ooh.
Obviously, I don't want to kill you. Your flesh would rot, and then we'd have nothing to eat, so I won't mutilate you right away. For the first week, fasting is bearable, so you don't need to be scared yet. Like, don't worry, I'm not going to start chomping on you for another 8 days or so."
Oh my god, dude, I'm dead. Like, I'm just so dead right now. This is not okay. First of all, I'm not coming here if I don't have to. Let's make that clear. I still don't completely understand why he would do this.
I promise neither of us would voluntarily come here, and neither of us would throw a TV set out a window. So
yeah, I think, in a sense I'd survive, but in another sense I would die 100%.
Yeah. It's weird. This one is it's very different from any movie we've covered, but it definitely has the survivability factor at the same time.
God, yeah.
So screams start to echo from the people around them, and Goreng goes, "You hear that? The sound of people waking up and discovering what level they're on." And we see 2 different bodies drop down past the platform hole, people jumping to their deaths because they don't even want to deal with it.
Oh my god.
This is our first survivability check-in.
I fear I'm one of the bodies. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, I just don't see this going well for me if I am Goreng, because I'm tied up. First of all, this guy's got a knife. He seems a little bit insane. I clearly don't really belong here. Like, I don't feel like I have the toughness to be here if I volunteered to come here in the first place. Like,
right.
I feel like you have to be. No, it feels like obviously this is like so far is like coming in like a lot of social status and all that. I feel like Goreng has to be like privileged to a point to think that this is going to be fun.
Yes, absolutely. I agree.
So I don't know, but like right now, do I have a number? I mean, we're alive right now, so I'm 100, but I'm gonna die later. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Don't me right now, Cassie. You put me in this position. Don't giggle at me, girl.
Sorry, I do giggle too much at your expense on these episodes.
For now, for our first act, I'm gonna say 95 because I'm alive.
Wow. Okay.
But there's like a 5% chance. I'm calling it.
Yeah. Right. That's the major question here. Right. Is like, do we have the willpower to not kill ourselves?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Which I pretty much for the most part put me in Goreng's shoes in this first act. And if I was in his position, I would not kill myself at this point, up to this point. But if I was just a person in the platform, I might be one of those people jumping,
yes,
So
exactly.
I put myself at an 83. I'm up there.
Okay.
But it's rough. You know what? It's really rough. I like my food.
For the food alone.
Like hunger is, oh my God, I'm so grateful to not have to like know what true hunger is, in the sense of, I get hungry, obviously. I'm like, oh, I'm going to make some, obviously. But I'm talking about like real hunger where it's been days and you have nothing to eat. I'm so grateful I've not had that. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Exactly. A month, multiple months possibly. Like, yeah. So I think I'm having a little bit of foresight here with my score going as low as 83 because I'm just like, there's no way in general this concept there's not a high chance I'd survive.
Exactly. No, I agree with you. Like from Goreng's point of view, he's obviously not going to like jump yet because he doesn't know what's coming for him really. Mm-hmm. But the people who have experienced it before are like, not again.
Trimagasi takes the bedcloth gag out of Goreng's mouth, and of course Goreng pleads his case, saying that he doesn't have to do this and that they're friends, but Trimagasi's like, no, I've had my cellmates turn on me in the past. It doesn't work like that. So Goreng screams at him that he's like a murderer, but Trimagasi's like, I'll try my best not to kill you, I promise. After 8 days, I'll start cutting off strips of flesh, and each time I'll do my best to treat your wounds, and I'll give you your share as well. Anyways, I hope that you can get over.
I'll give you.
I knew I wasn't going to get through that sentence.
No, you were not going to get through that sentence because absolutely not. You want me to eat my own flesh?
Oh my God,
bro!
Would you rather eat your own flesh or someone else's flesh?
Probably my own. Is that crazy to answer that quickly? Like, I don't know.
No, I agree. Because, like, it's you, and you don't know where the other, like, you don't know the other person like that.
Yeah.
I hope to never know anyone like that.
It's so true. I hope not. Cassie, you and I are now cellmates. We're just...
Who would eat who first?
This is not even funny. I don't know what's going on. No, we're sitting in opposite corners of the room eating our own flesh. Like, Like, girl, I won't eat you. Don't worry. Just eat yourself. Okay, girl.
Do you know what? If it came down to cannibalism, I think that we would agree to do that.
I honestly, yeah, why not?
That's kind of crazy. That's an image.
I'm glad we've had this discussion.
Yeah, just in case, for future reference.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, he says, I will give you your share. Anyways, I hope you can get over your anger toward me soon and we can go on reading Don Quixote together. And Goring tells him that maybe the other incident was an accident when Trimagasi had to resort to eating human flesh, you know, that the corpse just fell on their laps. But if Goring dies, it's on him. You know, he's like, I'm not going to this is not an accident, you doing this to me if I die. Right. And Trimagasi disagrees, saying that people above them have forced his hand. It's the 340 other people's fault.
Oh, he loves to blame everybody else.
Yes. Goring begs him that they can survive the month just drinking water, and Trimagasi answers, yes, maybe you could make it that way, but I'm an old man and I need to keep in mind that next month is my last. If I were to survive this month off of water, what would happen if I were placed on a lower level again next month? So, yeah, Goring is realizing there's no getting through to Trimagasi about all of this. And we cut to an 8-day montage of Goring struggling as he's tied to the bed, but over time you kind of see the fight leave him. He's weak and he's tired and he's hopeless, and eventually he's lying in his own pee and poop, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Meanwhile, Trimagasi has been kind enough to read Don Quixote to him every night.
Oh.
But
I'm just so uncomfortable right now. Like, I don't like it.
But the time does come that Trimagasi is too hungry and growing too weak, and it's time to start cutting away at Goring's flesh.
Dude, I am afraid. Like, I watch a lot of horror, and I feel like so nauseous listening to this, which like makes me worry for the the people. Like, are you guys good out there?
Yeah.
Like, holy
survivability
shit.
check-in with the people just listening to the podcast episode.
Are you still alive?
Are you still okay? Oh man, I'm not nauseous at all, so maybe I should think about that.
Oh my god, you were just Cassie, you were like, oh, so he's lying there in like shit and piss and his skin is being peeled off and they're gonna eat it.
You know what? You know what? I've seen too much shit too early in my childhood. It takes a lot for me. It takes a lot. I've seen too many horror movies. I've seen too much gore.
No, you said shit. And I was like, we were talking about shit. I was like confused. I was like, what do you mean by that?
Do you know the piles of shit I've seen in my childhood?
I was like, grew up on a farm? Like, what are we talking about?
So, where the fuck am I? What's happening?
Don't know.
Oh, yeah. So it's time to get into the flesh. He's hungry.
Oh, yeah, yay.
So he tells Goring that it's time, and Goring tells him, I want you to know that I hold you solely responsible for this. Not the people above us, not the circumstances, not even the administration. You. And Trimagasi's like, okay, chill. Let's get started. And don't worry. He goes, don't worry, I won't touch your genitals. So are you ready?
Oh, thanks.
Goring looks away and, of course, doesn't answer that, but he's resigned to what is coming. So Trimagasi gets to work. He tears open a spot on Goring's pants to expose his thigh, and he starts to slice away. And Goring is screaming in pain, but guess what time it is? The platform of food, I will say the platform of no food is lowering onto their floor, and Miharu is sitting on it. And she sees what's going down. Trimagasi has successfully cut a slice of Goring's thigh and is about to eat up. So what does she do? She grabs a glass bottle from the platform, walks on over, knocks Trimagasi out with it. He falls to the ground. She grabs his knife and then slashes his throat, and blood starts spurting.
What?
Yeah. And then she walks back over to Goring and uses the knife to cut him free of his restraints. And once he's free, she gives him a look and then hands the knife over for him to take. And he takes it. And without hesitation, he storms over to Trimagasi on the ground, clutching his throat, like actively dying, and starts stabbing Trimagasi over and over and over in a full, like, intense frenzy.
Oh my.
Yeah. So R.I.P. Trimagasi. I would say we wouldn't die in Trimagasi's POV, whatever you want to call it, because we wouldn't do the things that that he did that led to this.
He's like insane, dude.
But do you think you would stab, finish him off if you had the chance? Would you be that angry at this point to be able to do something like that?
I mean, yeah, I'd be pissed, but it's so hard because no, like I can't right now sitting here. I'd be like, absolutely not. But it's that same conversation of what you're driven to.
Desperate
in
times,
these kinds of circumstances. So like, I want to say no, I wouldn't do that, but
there's a chance.
There's technically a chance.
Yeah, it's crazy too because like he was gonna die. He got his throat slashed. He was gonna die, but he just did it to kind of like be like, let me do this to you while you can still look me in the eyes right now. You know, it was very like, it was so angry, and I was like, damn, you know what? Well, I can't blame him.
Well, and like the thing is, like knowing what he was like when he went in there, he seemed like he was full of a lot of compassion and like, so for him to get to that point, that's where I'm like, if he's turned that aggressively, it's like, well, maybe it could happen to anyone.
We cut to Goring coming to on his bed later on, probably having passed out from just being starved for 8 days and then getting a piece of his leg cut off and then stabbing Trimagasi to death. Bro needed a nap. So now he's waking up again, and he looks over to see that Miharu is still here, and she's hunched over Trimagasi's corpse, like having a feast.
I can't do this. I don't like it.
I tend to pick a lot of cannibalism movies, I realize, and I'll try to hold back on that for a while.
This one just is so like, is it graphic? Like, is it gory and graphic, or do they not really show a lot of it?
Oh, it's shown. It's pretty. Yeah, it's graphic. It's like very like realism gore as well.
Oh, dude, oh my god, literally, like this is making me feel disgusting.
Yeah. If you have mint gum, well, actually, just kidding. You can't have mint gum. That would be annoying for everyone else. So
yeah, me like nom nom nom.
Yeah. So actually, I wish I could share my nausea inhaler. I have it right here.
I love that thing.
You should get one just in case, just for these episodes.
Just for these episodes. That's all I did it for.
Yeah. So she's doing that, and then she looks over to see that Goring is awake and quickly brings him a strip of Trimagasi's flesh, which he does try to eat, but his body rejects it. Same. Yeah, I can't imagine that would be easy to get down.
No.
He gags and coughs it up and just can't, get it down. So she runs over to the sink and cups together a handful of water and then pours that down his throat to help him out. But then she tries to feed him again the piece of flesh. I think she knows that if he doesn't eat, and with the blood that he's losing, he's going to die. Like he needs to sustain himself.
Yeah. Okay.
So again, he tries to get it down, and this time he does successfully swallow it, and he's going to be okay, ?
Yeah.
And then he asks her, "What's your boy's name?" And she doesn't answer, just walks away, cleans her hands in the sink. She still hasn't spoken a single word thus far. After washing up her hands, she gets on the platform because it's about to lower, and then gets carried down, continuing her descent to find her child. So thank you and goodbye to Miharu. Or Miharu. Yeah, who knows?
Who knows what her name is? It's fine.
Then we get a cutscene with nothing but the sound of violins playing over it that is showing the old man in the suit who seems to be in charge of this operation yelling at all of his chefs with a panna cotta in his hand, which is, I'm uncultured. I didn't know it's an Italian gelatin dessert.
Oh, okay.
And we realize why he's mad when he picks a hair off of the dessert and he's going around trying to find the chef to which the hair matches. And once he does, his yelling seems to intensify. He's so angry. And then we cut back to Goring.
So, that is so, like, such an interesting contrast to see them down there eating flesh, and then he's mad that there's a hair in the food. Like, that's wild. Whoa.
Exactly. Back to Goring, even with maggots swarming Trimagasi's body.
No, stop, dude. Oh my god. I'm gonna go. I'm
gonna do a rom-com next week.
You're gonna need to. I'm gonna be recovering from this for a long time.
He's got to get through it. He's just trying to stay alive, and he does so for the full month, down on level 171.
Okay.
And to make matters worse, he hallucinates Trimagasi through it. And this Trimagasi hallucination basically gets in his head saying things like, "Eat or be eaten. I was defenseless when you attacked me, and you showed me no mercy. We're the same now, both murderers. The only difference is I'm more civilized." when I know, like, there's a little piece to that where it's like, shit.
It's kind of true.
Yeah. And
because
I hate
it. what that showed is that, like, if Goring had been there as long as the other guy, like, maybe he would have reached the same point, because it didn't take him that long to become extremely murderous and angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's like, you probably were going to end up in the same place he was.
Yeah. It's like this place just kind of resorts you down to the same level. I mean, you're on different levels every month, but it really makes you see, like, the human beneath and how similar we all are in like what we need and what the lengths we will go to just to survive. And it's like just the basic concept of just life, you know?
The animalistic instinct, like, of humans comes out from this place, which is crazy.
Yeah. So it's like hard to point fingers and be like, you're worse than that one, you're worse than that one. Like, everyone kind of, it has like that ugly side to them where it's like, you just do what you got to do.
Wow. Okay, this is so interesting. Disgusting, but really interesting.
Yeah. When Goring finally lasts through the month and wakes up on a new level, he wakes up to a dog licking his face, a little dachshund.
Oh.
And then we hear a woman's voice go, Ramses II, come here, sweetie. And Ramses pitter-patters on over to his owner. Goring looks over to see his new cellmate, a woman in her late 30s or so, scoop up her puppy and give him a kiss. And then he looks at the wall to read what level he's on this month. And it is level 33.
Whoa. Okay, crazy.
This is insane to me, though. Bringing your dog in as your item to this place is, oh my God, I would never bring Karma into a place like this.
Yeah, like, what? Oh my God, and you gave me a freaking warning at the beginning.
Indeed. I feel like I have to. There's so many warnings I should have given at the beginning of this one.
This is honest. This episode is just one big trigger warning.
Yes.
Oh my God.
The woman then introduces herself. My name is Imiguri, and this is Ramses II. Goring whispers, "You're allowed to bring animals into the pit?" And Imiguri answers, "I couldn't have come without him, Goring." And Goring's like, "Yeah, that's not a good idea with the shit that goes down in here."
Yeah, right.
And she's just like, damn, I thought someone who brought a book as their item would be kinder to dogs. Most people bring knives, baseball bats, flashlights, guns, crossbows, the occasional exercise bike. Goring cuts her off, finally processing what she said before, and asks, "Why do you know my name?" And we cut back to another flashback, again to Goring at his interview before going into the pit. And the administration officer running the interview with him is revealed to be this woman, Imiguri.
Oh.
And in this interview, one of the questions she asks him is, "What is your favorite food?" And he says, I don't know. And she's like, "You have to know. Give me something so we can include it in the menu." So he thinks it over and ends up giving some special kind of like escargot as his favorite food.
Interesting.
And of course, I have to ask, what would you say as your favorite food in this situation? Like, it's going to be part of the menu every month.
You said it. My first thought was nachos. Not gonna lie. I'm such a nachos girly. Like, give me my nachos.
Oh, nachos do sound good right now. I have the fixings for like that whole chili nacho situation you put me on.
Oh, yes.
Might have that today.
Good. Wait, but like you would, I have to know what you would say, right?
Wait, what do you mean? You know what I'm gonna say?
I would think so.
Do you think I want Taco Bell?
Hell yeah, I think you want Taco Bell, girly.
No, so if I didn't know what the fuck was going on, I'd be like, give me a double beef burrito from Taco Bell, you know? But if I was going into it knowing why they were asking me that, I'd probably ask for like a turkey, you know, like a Thanksgiving turkey, because it's just so much there. It's so much protein and it's big. But
see, you're smart.
I think he's going in not really understanding the severity of how important the question is. So
yeah,
I probably wouldn't either. And I'd be like, hell yeah, Taco Bell. You know, that'd be gone on level 1.
That's so true. Everybody be like, "Oh, give me that Taco Bell."
Yeah. Okay. Back in the pit, Goring is remembering who she is and asks if she can get him out of here. But she replies with, "You know I can't." And he asks her why they sent her down into this pigsty. And she says, "From what I can remember, you came here by choice. No one sent me. I asked to come here too." Goring goes, "What? So you don't know that people are dying in the pit?" Because like only someone who is unaware of that would volunteer to come down here.
That's true, right?
And Imaguri answers, actually, we prefer to call it a vertical self-management center.
I'm sorry, a what? A vertical self-management center.
He
That's
couldn't
not
care
what
less.
comes to mind.
No. He's like, okay, well, anyways, how many levels are there? Please tell me. And she says 200. And he's like, yeah, well, there's not enough food for 200 levels. But Imaguri answers, if everyone ate only what they needed, the food would reach the lowest of levels.
Ooh.
Goring's like, yeah, lol, that's not going to happen in here. And she agrees it never happens on the outside either. But I believe that what we need is for something to happen that creates spontaneous solidarity. And he scoffs and is like, is that why they created this pit? Some experiment to create spontaneous solidarity? Because it's not going too well. And the look that she gives him makes him assume that, yes, that's why she at least believes that the pit exists.
That's wild. Like, if you're, been here for a while, I want to think if I were put on a high level, I wouldn't, like, knowing that if I ate less food, it would save somebody's life below me. Like, how are people not doing that, right? But, like, oh my God, but, like, it's such a social commentary. So that's really interesting.
This is the most social commentary movie ever, probably that we'll ever cover on the podcast. Because we very rarely get this heavy-handed in like horror, thriller, whatever you want to call this. Yeah, I would think like you would have the empathy for the lower levels, especially having lived on one yourself, that if you get thrown up to level 1, maybe you have a bad day and you like just literally almost died and you pig out on the first couple days, but then it's like, like I need to remember, no, like I need to just eat what can sustain me and try to be part of the solution of getting things down to the lower levels. But I think so many people disregard that, so the good people are like, well, there's no point in helping, there's enough bad people that are going to counter the good I'm trying to do, which again, social commentary.
Oh my God, this is crazy. Wow. Interesting.
That day, when the platform of food drops to their level, Imaguri doesn't eat, but instead feeds a ration of food to her dog, and she explains that she plans to trade off who gets to eat every other day with her dog. And Goring's like, yeah, that's a bad idea, because bringing in a second mouth to feed could end up being the reason that someone in here dies. You could be responsible for the death of a child. Like,
well, except that she's going every other day.
Yeah, if she stays with that, then chill. But I think he's like, you're not going to be able to keep that up. You're going to get hungry.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, Imaguri gets really strict with him all of a sudden there, and she goes, no one under the age of 16 is allowed to enter the pit. And Goring shrugs and is like, I know there's at least one child in the pit right now. And Imaguri sticks to her guns and says, that's not possible. The administration would not let that happen. And when their platform lowers down to level 34 below them, Imaguri starts to interact and ask for the people below to listen to her. And she goes, I've put 2 helpings to the side so you can each eat your share. Which, yes, she was like sorting salads when the platform was on our level, and now it makes sense why. And she goes, so please eat your share and then prepare 2 similar rations for the next level. Obviously, this interaction does not go well. It's in one ear and out the other. Level 34 doesn't give a shit and is stuffing their mouths with whatever they can get. Goring makes a comment, spontaneous solidarity, huh? Maybe this place is doing the opposite.
Yeah.
But she's not deterred. We get a montage of the next 15 days, and every day when the platform arrives at their level, she creates 2 portions of food for the level below, and then begs them to eat their ration and do the same for the level below them and pass on the message and so on. But every time she's met with hostility and just endless arguments until that 15th day, when Goring is the one to crack, sick of hearing this play out day after day.
Yeah.
He stops Imaguri and calls down to level 34 himself, and he goes, okay, you bastards. Do exactly as the lady says, or I'm going to shit in your food every day, and I'll mix it all up until there isn't a grain of rice left untouched. You got it? Now go and say the same thing to the bastards below you. Is that clear? And it works.
No way.
The people below do as he says, and Imaguri's like, really? They'll listen over literal shit? And Goring shrugs and is like, yup, it's better than spontaneous solidarity or whatever the fuck. And she's excited, like, okay, maybe you can get through to the people above us too. And he shakes his head and goes, nah, I can't shit upwards. Sorry. The next day, when the platform lands on their level, Miharu is on it, but this time, she's sprawled out across it, and she's very battered and bruised, pretty much passed out. He screams at Imaguri to help him, and together they carry Miharu off of the platform and onto Goring's bed. And he explains that this is the mother of the boy that is somewhere in the pit, and they quickly get to work, making her comfortable with a pillow, and they make a wet washcloth. Miharu starts coughing awake. Meanwhile, little Ramses is chowing down on everything in sight on the platform. And I was stressed about that, but thankfully, when the platform lowers, Ramses has jumped off and doesn't disappear with it. But back to Miharu, though, she's whispering to Goring that she's cold, and they wrap her tight in blankets. But then Imaguri is like, wait, I'm getting cold too. And the temperature is dropping rapidly in their cell, and Goring realizes what's going on. Little Ramses is in a corner with a piece of ham or something that he had taken from the platform. So he runs after him, gets the ham, throws it down into the hole. Thankfully, the temperature is immediately restored. And then that night, Goring sleeps on the floor while Miharu stays in his bed. And he wakes up to a scuffle. Miharu and Imaguri are fighting. Imaguri is sobbing and screaming, "I hate you. What's wrong with you?" Goring breaks it up, and then in the corner of the room, he sees the reason for the fight. Miharu has gutted and had been eating Imaguri's dog, Ramses.
Why?
Like, you were like, you've been eating, right? Because she's coming down. We're on level 33.
Yeah,
like,
we're only on 33. If we were on 170, I'm not going to say I get it, but like, there's more understanding to that. But on level 33, there's literally no excuse for that.
Yeah. I think, to me, the only thing that it's giving to me is like, she's been in here a long ass time, and she takes advantage of every situation she's put in, you know?
Yeah.
We cut to the next day. Presumably still no words have been spoken by Miharu, and she's sitting on the platform getting lowered down to the below level with the food, and she just stares at Goring as she leaves, and he stares back. And then he says to Imaguri, it's because of her son. Like, she has to do whatever she can to stay alive for her son. But Imaguri says, I selected that woman 10 months ago, and she came here alone. She has no parents and no children. Her favorite food is bibimbap, a Korean rice dish.
Really
I've never had that. Did I say it right?
I actually don't know. I always say bibimbap or something like that, but it's so good. Oh my God, she's so real for that.
She loves her Korean rice dish. She's a movie actress. She brought a ukulele. She came into the pit on her own. Are you understanding me, Goring? She's completely alone. Meanwhile, Goring is watching Miharu below kill one of the men trying to take advantage of her again without even having to get off the platform. Just dead.
Damn.
Then Imaguri gets into a backstory, like story time moment, and she goes, I worked for the administration for 25 years. For 8 years, I've sent people to this hell. I didn't know what I was doing because I didn't know. I swear I didn't. I fought cancer for 3 years. The day I found out I'd lost the battle, I applied to come here to help. But you know something? It doesn't matter anymore. I don't care. I don't care about anything. Who the hell would bring a book here? Valid crash out.
Yeah.
Goring doesn't really have anything to say to all of that, and I guess I don't either. The next day, when the platform comes down and Imaguri stays lying in her bed, Goring finds a plate of untouched escargot, and he's like, damn, this is a miracle. And he includes a couple of them in the portions that he's putting together for the level below them, carrying on what Imaguri set out to do, even though clearly her heart isn't in it anymore.
Yeah.
And when Goring tells her that she should eat something, her response is, it's Ramses's turn today. Goring insists, it's the last day, you should eat. But she doesn't listen. And the next day, the first thing Goring sees is the number on the wall. He is now on level 202.
There's more.
Yeah. Next to that number on the wall, Imaguri has managed to hang herself with bed sheets.
That did not take long.
No, I get it. Especially because she was like, I worked for this place for 25 years, and I'm finding out that they told me, I'm assuming they told her there were 200 levels, which is crazy in and of itself.
Right.
But then, like, her dog was killed. She has no belief in humanity, and her work lied to her, and she's on level 202.
Yeah. So
it's I think I would do the same in her position, actually.
It's hard.
I think I would. With her backstory, I think I would. And, like, cancer, she's going to die anyway.
Right. That's true.
When Goring looks down into the hole in the middle of the cell, there are still endless levels that he can see below them. He still can't see the bottom.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so this is our second survivability check-in.
This one's so weird because it's genuinely like depressing. Like this entire concept is so just like it's heavy and like obviously
this is not a fun episode.
No, I'm not having fun. This is like it's also just so like gross and like that doesn't help. And oh man, if I wake up and I see 202, I mean think about what happened when we were on 170. That was not fun.
No.
And now
there's no food
alone.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're him, are you thinking, well, there's a body for me to eat right there? Oh my God, this is awful. Okay, up to this point, I don't think I've snapped right here because maybe there's as him. Like I think there's still some optimism. I don't know why the number 57 is coming to mind.
Okay,
so that's what I'm gonna go with.
I went with 48.
Okay, so we're pretty close here. Oh my God, this is awful.
I dipped into like the lower half of the percentages because I mean, as her, I do think I'd be in the same boat and I would kill myself. As him, I would think about it, but I don't think 48% chance that I just try to stay alive.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Goring
I'm not looking forward to the third act, like at all.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh boy.
Goring lives off of Imaguri's flesh and ends up hallucinating his way through his month on level 202, seeing both Imaguri and Trimagasi again. And he's having conversations with them. And Trimagasi is guilt-tripping him for eating Imaguri, but his hallucination of Imaguri is encouraging him to continue eating her. And she's like, she's saying she killed herself this way for a reason, and she left her body behind for him. Like she could have jumped, but she didn't.
Oh, true. Wow. Ugh.
Yeah. So he is obviously looking rough by the end of this month. He's weak and he's going a bit insane from being alone with his hallucinations so long. But he makes it through the month. And when he wakes up in a new cell the following month, he finds himself on level 6.
Whoa. Insane.
And he has a new cellmate whose excited yells are what jolts him awake. His cellmate comes right over to his bed when he sees Goring is awake and is like, "Hey, my name is Baharat and I'm on fire. Are you awake? You see what level we're on? I'm on fire. I can go to the top from here. Hey." And he's calling to the people above them. And we see his item, Baharat's item, that he brought with him is a giant rope, presumably that we can put together. It's for climbing higher. He's trying to get out of here.
Right.
And he manages to get the attention of the people on level 5 above them. He's like, "Please, please, I'm trying to escape this hellhole. Please let me up." The guy above asks if he believes in God, and Baharat answers honestly, saying, "Yes, I believe in the one true God, of course." And the guy above says to someone off screen, "He says he believes in the same God as us, darling." Baharat keeps pleading his case. "I'll just be passing through. God spoke to me and told me to get out of the pit." And the man asks exactly what God said to Baharat. And he answers, "He told me that 2 pious souls would help me get out of the pit."
I'm sure.
Right. The man turns to his person above and says, "You hear that, darling? Apparently God has been talking about us." And, it's at this point where we're like, okay, you're just playing with Baharat. You're not going to help him. Yeah. You don't believe him. You probably don't believe in God either. And the man's partner comes to the edge of the hole and looks down. A woman, they're both probably mid-40s or so. And she asks, "Well, how will God reward us?" And Baharat answers, "Everlasting life." So the couple play along and are like, "All right, go ahead and toss up your rope." So Baharat is beside himself with gratitude and excitement. He's never been this close before, and he tosses up the rope, which they catch, and Baharat says goodbye to Goring and starts to climb the rope. He's almost to the top, reaching level 5, and reaches a hand up for some help because he's struggling with his strength here. But instead of deciding to help him up, the woman instead shits on his face.
What?
Yeah. She pulls down her pants, pops a squat, and shits on his face.
No. Why? What?
Yeah. It's just so crazy. Like the social commentary of being so high up, you're in the top 1% of living.
Yeah.
And you're just shitting on everyone else, anyone below you. Like, are you... What, like, why exactly, Caitlin? Why? It's so fucked up. So he screams and he falls, and the couple let go of his rope, and the rope goes soaring down into the hole, but Baharat somehow is able to land right on the edge of level 6 on his feet, and he's about to topple into the hole too, but Goring grabs him and saves him. The couple above are laughing hysterically to themselves, real proud of what they just did, and Baharat is sobbing, aggressively washing his face off and coming to the unfortunate conclusion that there is just no way he's getting out of here, because like he's never been this high before, and he's like, I have no rope. Like he's been trying to do this for a long time, and this was a big fumble. So a couple days pass, and Goring decides to just say fuck it, and he comes up with a plan. One night, while Baharat is depressed, sitting against the wall, Goring goes and sits next to him. And here is his proposal. Help me go down. We'll use whatever weapons we have. We'll get onto the platform and hand out food on every level, enough to survive. I can't do it on my own, but together we can. Then we can ride the platform up to the top level when it rises up in the middle of the night. And you can get up to the top like you wanted, and we can talk to the administration and make them understand what's really going on here. They're like, they can't understand what's going on here, or they wouldn't let this happen, you know. And Baharat is hesitant to agree to this plan. It takes some convincing, but eventually he's game. Back when Goring was on 202, he tried to count the seconds and do the math to figure out how many levels there are based on how long it took before the platform would rise up again. And he's guessing that there are around 250 levels. So close to 500 people they'll have to get through to make it to the bottom.
Yeah.
The next day, it's go time. They break apart their beds and are able to use, like, there's metal bars, like the slats of like the bed are metal bars.
Yeah.
They break those off and use them as their weapons. And when the platform arrives, they get on for the ride. And when they lower down into level 7, Baharat starts yelling at the two cellmates to stay back, no touching the platform. One of them is an older guy that seems to know Baharat, though, and he's like, whoa, hey, buddy, what are you doing? Baharat explains, well, we're just passing through. We'll give you your rations and go. And then Goring is like, no, the first 50 levels eat every day. We'll start handing out food on level 51.
Oh my God. Yeah, that's going to go over so well.
Right. Baharat isn't loving that. He goes, these two are my friends. 2 months ago, they helped me climb up. But Goring sticks to his guns and says, they ate yesterday and they'll eat again tomorrow. They'll be fine for today.
It's true. But I'm just scared that people are not going to take to that very well.
Right. It's settled, though, and obviously these people on level 7 are not taking kindly to this plan, as you could have guessed. One of them is really talking up a big speech about how these two aren't the messiahs that they think they are, and even gets in Baharat's head going, who are you, a black servant of a white man? And Baharat looks at Goring, and you think he's going to start second-guessing all of this. But then when the level 7 talker reaches forward to try and sneak some food off the platform while Baharat's distracted thinking about that, Baharat smacks him in the head with his metal pole. Ooh. It goes like that, level after level, screaming and threatening these people to stand back from the food or they'll get whacked. And that works until we get to a level where a man in a wheelchair, whose name we learn is like Sir Brambang or something, looks at Baharat with like this intense disappointment. This is another person that clearly Baharat has been helped by and knows.
Yeah.
And he's just like, whoa, what are you doing here? And Baharat has a lot of respect for this guy, so they hear him out. First, Baharat does explain that they're just trying to get food down to the lower levels. And Brambang is like, that's great, but manners come first. Convince them. Don't fight them. Goring is like, yeah, that sounds nice, but what if we can't? What if we can't convince them?
Yeah, I agree with that.
But Brambang says, no hesitation. He goes, then hit them hard, but communication comes first. So we're like, okay, yeah, we can do that.
I get where he's coming from, but I would just not trust the other people to be willing to communicate. So it'd be like, I get why they're going down so aggressively. I don't think they're doing it to be terrible people. They're doing it because they know how people are going to react. They're just, jumping the gun on it.
On top of that, Brangbang is like, who up there is going to find out if you succeed? Like, he's like, wait, let's dig deeper into this plan of yours. And they're like, well, we're just trying to send a message and get in contact with the administration. I don't know. And Brown Bang's like, well, exactly. The administration doesn't have a conscience. You need to make sure that you can at least just get a message to the workers on level 0 who make the food. That's where you should aim to get your message across. They're like, okay, what message do we want to get to the level 0 workers to see some changes around here? And Brown Bang comes up with the following idea. He goes, we need a symbol. We need a delicious, perfectly presented dish, one that gets back to level 0 untouched. Imagine their faces when they see the pit send back a dish like that. Then they will understand the message. Use the panna cotta. You must protect the panna cotta as if your lives depend on it. The panna cotta is the message.
Am I dumb? Like, I don't understand what the message is.
Basically, did I explain? Let me see if I explained it in my script. So that's the plan. They're hoping that by getting the panna cotta back up to level 0, it will show the workers that the pit is taking a stand together for the better. Like, we are standing together. We're not even going to eat all of this food because we need changes around here. We're breaking down your system. And it's just like a symbol of that.
Okay.
So on the next level down, they take a different approach. Baharat, now holding the panna cotta, gives the following speech. Please do not take a step closer to the platform. We want you to join a peaceful protest movement that will change the course of events and set an important precedent. The woman in the cell cuts him off and is like, come on, give it to us straight. What's going on here? And Goring clarifies, we ask that you go a day without food. And she's like, LOL, yeah, fuck that, and grabs a turkey leg and bites into it. So Goring boops her on the head with the metal pole, and she gets knocked out, and her cellmate does not step toward the platform. And then we get a montage of them continuing down through these top 50 levels, and literally every time they have to resort to violence because no one wants to listen or be on what feels like the losing end of this plan right now. But then they hit level 51, and it's time to start dishing out food. They've got portions figured out, and they hand it on over, and there aren't any issues at first. The people are confused, but like they're happy to be eating. But then the lower and lower they get, the compliance and gratefulness turns into desperation, and these people are starving, and they don't just want one small portion. They want to dig into everything. Having to resort to violence comes back into play.
Wow.
On level 96, they feed the two cellmates, one of them a younger man and the other much older. And the old man isn't doing well. He can't get up from his bed, so Goring is feeding him soup himself, and Baharat is feeding the younger guy. And this younger guy says he's going to die, talking about his cellmate. And Baharat's like, nah, man, it's all right. We're going to get through this, But the young guy goes, no, he's going to die because whatever you feed him, I'm going to gut him open and eat the food out of his belly.
Oh, no,
yeah.
no.
We're that desperate on level 96. Yeah.
Ah, God, to think that we're that desperate on 96?
Yes.
And there's 250-ish?
Yeah. And Goring and Baharat are like, oh, okay, this is an obstacle we did not foresee in our plan, but anyways, and then they keep it moving.
Yeah.
But then they start getting, into the levels where they're finding just dead bodies on dead bodies.
Yeah.
And Goring's like, shit, this is probably around where Miharu woke up, leaving a trail behind her.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, Baharat knows Miharu and is like, oh, yes, the girl who's looking for her child. And Goring informs him there is no child. Which I'm just wondering at this point how that rumor even started if she literally never speaks. I don't know.
True.
When they get to a level where it's just a bloody dead body, the platform doesn't stop. It keeps going. And then the next level has 2 dead bodies, presumably left again in Miharu's wake. Again, it doesn't stop. And they're panicking over this because this means that the math that Goring did with trying to guess how many levels there are based off of time, it's way off since the platform doesn't even stop when everyone's dead. So there's got to be way more than 250.
Oh my God, yeah.
The platform lowers to a level where they hear a woman screaming, and it's Miharu. And a man has her completely picked off the ground with a knife in his hand, and then this guy throws her down and starts stabbing her hard and rapidly all over her body. Goring and Baharat jump off the platform and immediately try to stop him. The knife gets dropped, and Goring starts pounding this guy with his fists. But then the other cellmate, there's another cellmate in here, and he's got a machete of some kind or something, and he goes after Goring, but thank God Baharat starts fighting him off, so it's just one huge brawl happening. Baharat ends up getting a bad slice with the machete to his side. Goring's been overpowered, and now he's underneath his guy that he's fighting, covered in blood from punches and getting choked. He's like getting choked out now. But Thankfully, Baharat somehow is able to win his fight, and he kills his guy, takes the guy's machete, beheads the man on top of Goreng, and has to lean down and pry this man's dead hands from around Goreng's neck.
Oh.
So they're both fucked up from this fight, but at least they're alive. It's probably a good 3 to 4-ish minute sequence of just fighting, and it's rough. Miharu is not doing well. She has, by that I mean she's dead. So she has bled out. I don't know why I put it like that. She's bled out from the stabbings, and Baharat has to drag Goreng away from her and onto the platform as it starts descending again. And the descent continues until they finally make it to the final level. Most of, the floors they pass at this point, it's just all dead bodies. So it's not too eventful. They make it to the final level, which is level 333.
333.
333, which I'm like, that's got to mean something.
It has to.
Yeah. And at this point, the food is all gone. Obviously, it's been gone for a while because they, even trying to ration, they severely underestimated the amount of people that should be here.
Well, so one thing I have a question about with that is when he did the math of the rationing, was he also counting for people who'd be dead? You know what I mean? Because if you thought it was 250, but instead it was moving faster, but it was moving faster past people who were dead, so you didn't need food for those levels. I don't know if I'm overthinking it, but
I would hope that he thought that way, because I feel like I would as well. We know there's going to be a lot of dead people.
Right.
The lower you get. Yeah. However, so there's no food left on the platform, but they have managed to keep the panna cotta safe. And at first, when the platform stops on level 333, they think it's only because it must be the last level, which it is. But then Goreng looks under one of the beds and sees a child. And he's like, holy shit, Miharu wasn't lying.
No way.
And he starts to crawl off the platform. He's in such bad shape. Goreng is in such bad shape from the fight that he can't even sit upright, let alone stand right now. Yeah. And Baharat tries to stop him and tells him to just stay on the platform. And over the last 75 levels, Baharat's just been repeating to himself over and over, the panna cotta is the message. The panna cotta is the message. But Goreng gets off the platform and starts army crawling toward the bed. Baharat gets off too and tries to stop him and drag him back, but it's too late, and the platform is lowering again. And they quickly both look down, and there aren't any more levels. They just watch the platform descend into just a giant pit of darkness. It just disappears into nothing. Goreng tells Baharat to throw down the panna cotta because the room's going to kill them if they keep any food from the platform. But Baharat keeps saying no and is telling him to wait. And the longer and longer they wait, they realize that the room is not getting hot or cold, nothing is happening. Then they both look over at the child, a little girl maybe around 9 years old, hiding under the bed. And this little girl's eyes are fixed on the panna cotta in Baharat's hands. She's hungry. And Goreng tells Baharat to give her some, but Baharat holds it tighter and starts repeating to himself over again, no, the panna cotta is the message, the panna cotta is the message.
Well, we kind of screwed up the message when we got off the platform with the freaking food.
Right. But then we cut to the little girl eating the panna cotta. They couldn't keep it from her. I don't blame them. Of course, it's the right move. You could have thrown it down onto the platform still, really quick, throw it down so it makes its way up there. Even if it splats, it's still a message, because usually everything's licked real clean.
Right.
And Goreng and Baharat, still looking like they maybe don't have much time to live based on the state of their injuries, are both looking at each other, and they're laughing a little because they have no regrets. This feels worth the journey that they've been on, feeding this child right now. That night, they all fall asleep, Goreng and Baharat on the floor, and Goreng has more hallucinations that night. Trimagasi appears again, telling him how noble it was to squander below level 6 and asking if he's going to eat Baharat. And Goreng's response to that is, well, why not the girl? And Trimagasi is like, well, the girl has a gift. Haven't you figured that out? Then he sees Imaguri, and she keeps repeating, Ramses II is the message. Ramses II is the message. And he sees a hallucination of Miharu, goddammit, coming down on the platform and pointing a knife at a spot in the room. And when he turns his head to look at what she's pointing at, he's suddenly shaken awake by Baharat, and Baharat is passionately repeating to him, the girl is the message, the girl is the message. And then Goring wakes up again, and we realize that Baharat just then was part of his hallucinations or his dream, because when he looks over on the ground next to him, Baharat is dead, died in his sleep from his injuries.
Oh.
Yeah. But what the Baharat in his head told him is sticking with him. The girl is the message. So the next day, when the platform lowers to their level, he beckons her to come sit on it with him. So they get on and ride the platform down into the darkness. They make it to the bottom, and still the darkness seems endless around them, but the light from the whole of the levels above shines down kind of like a soft spotlight.
Yeah.
And again, his hallucination of Trimagasi is back, and he says, your journey is over. Goring shakes his head and says, no, I need to go back up with the girl. And Trimagasi counters, but you are not the message. And Goring goes, I'm the bearer. Trimagasi shakes his head. The message doesn't need a bearer. Goring stands up from the platform and walks out of the light with Trimagasi, away from the platform. Then they stop and turn back around, watching the girl, who's now asleep on the platform. She fell asleep like during its descent from level 333, because that's how deep into the ground, I guess, we are.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And when they look back at her, Trimagasi smiles and says, she will succeed. And Goring says, she is the message. And Trimagasi repeats, she is the message. And then the platform shoots upward toward level 0 with the little girl. Hopefully it makes it up to the workers. They're not supposed to have minors in here. They're going to see how fucked up it is in here. Like, you're putting a child through this. Like, things need to change. Yeah, so the platform shoots up, and that is the end of the movie. Okay. But girl, let me say something. Do you remember the random scene of the workers on level 0 and the head manager guy yelling at them about the hair and the panic cotta?
Yeah.
The main theory here is that there was no little girl. She was another of Goring's hallucinations, and that he and Baharat successfully sent the panic cotta back up as planned as the message. But the people at the top, the workers, didn't understand the message. They just thought the panic cotta was sent up because no one wanted to eat something with a hair on it, because they're so far removed from the realities of the pit, and nothing is going to change.
Oh, I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate it. Dude, I hate it. No, for me, okay, here's my thing with this, though. I think we've been driven to extreme levels of clearly delusion, and like we're seeing things and whatever. But like, if I succeed in that plan, that initial plan, I am not getting off that platform. Like, there's nothing that was going to convince me to get off of it.
Yeah. Except there's like a small hallucination. I'm crazy. The hallucination lures me, you know?
I guess because like if the little girl is the hallucination as well, because like in that point, I'm also not getting off the platform because I can go back up. My thought process, maybe selfishly, is like, I'll go back up and then worry about getting the little girl. You know, versus I'm going to jump like after all this work we did today and then getting off, like then essentially nobody is it's not going to do anything. So I don't know.
There's also a theory though that he is dead, like died in that fight, and the panic cotta was on the platform. When they were fighting, like the panic cotta was on the platform. So there's also it's hard because there's so many theories about this movie that like they both died in that fight, and the panic cotta still got brought back up. I know I wouldn't have been able to I wouldn't have survived the fight.
No, me neither.
So if I'm going on this journey that he goes on in the third act, I'm dead.
Yeah, that's true. I guess like I'm not going to survive the fight. This is all that I'm saying is like everything I'm talking about right now is just, I guess, assuming I did somehow survive the fight. I'm not getting off the platform, but you're right. Like, definitely not going to be able to stand physical combat.
Yeah.
Is the third act a 0 is the question. I don't even know if I'm trying the plan to begin with, actually.
Right. The way that I did my final score for this act was, I know I'm a 0 if I go on this little journey that they go on.
Yeah.
But there's a percentage chance of just like, okay, what if I don't though?
Right.
But then most of it I have to just put into the fact that, you know, the main character does it. So I can't put too much weight on deciding not to, but I put some weight on it, you know?
Right. Yeah. Because like, again, it's you could, I mean, if we did it that way, it's like neither of us are signing up to come here. So like, like there's always that. Okay, honestly, I'm going to go with like a 6.
I went with 13.
Okay.
Just because it felt cursed.
Yeah. Cursed is a good word for what today has been.
Yeah. How are you going to come up with your final official overall score?
I'm down to average it out. If we want to do we want to do the weighted?
Yeah, let's try. Let's see if I'm going to do it and see if I'm happy and it feels right. Mine comes out to 36.
Mine is 37.
How do we feel?
I do feel like that's a little high.
I agree. I think I want to dock like literally like 10% off of mine. Minimum. I'm going to give myself a 26% overall.
You know what? I'll do the same and go 27.
Okay. So we're an overall
that we're
27.
Just docking 10. Yeah, because it's just like 37 is way too high.
I agree. Yeah. Yeah, you don't know really exactly, especially in it's the first act. You don't know what you're about to get into.
Yeah. Right. Because when you're in the first act, it's like, well, yeah, I'm alive because they're alive. But then it tanks at the end. Like, because I went from 95 in the first to 5 in the last.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that shouldn't be a 37.
No, I'm happy with a 27. That feels better. Well, apologies to everyone who listened to this episode.
Apology not accepted.
But you guys can check us out on Instagram at I'd Survive Podcast. We have a bunch of links over there, including one to our Discord where you can submit your own scores and let us know, would you survive?